Hey everyone, it's been a while since I've posted one of these. I was evacuated because of the fires around here in the Bay Area and getting gear loaded back into the studios and getting back to the normal routine. Much luckier than a lot of people that I know and tons more that I don't know who don't have a home to be back in right now. There's a link in the description of the video where you can donate to help those affected by the fires. I did want to get back to doing these though, now that life's returned to some form of normal. I thought a good next video to do is take apart some drum sounds, tracked these drums in an atypical way to
provide some extra strange vibe for this
song.
The song's called 10 Minute Rain. It's going to be on the full length that I'm working on. This is what the drums sound like. Kind of some crazy sound. Let's dive in. Kick drum.
Pretty straight ahead, beta 52 on the inside.
This is what the kick sounds like. Totally dry. Add some tape. And the outside kick here, going through tape, and I flipped the phase on it because it was a little out of phase. Hear that with the inside kick. I added the Cambridge EQ and Fairchild 670 compressor on there. Let's turn the EQ on. Without. With. And with the compressor. Mic the top of the snare drum with a 414. So it's very directional. Next to it, I added the Green Bullet harmonica mic, which has a 1/4 inch jack. So we ran that into a guitar pedal, can't remember which overdrive pedal, to really mostly give it a little extra level and a little more grit. And then ran that through an old Silvertone amp and mic'd that up with a 57. And then the snares themselves are the marching snare, and then on top of that marching snare is a tambourine. And on top of that tambourine is a little piccolo snare that's very down-tuned. The distortion that was added to the amp snare picked up a lot more of the kit than just the snare, which was actually, I thought, a very cool effect. You hear this snare top. Let's hear it dry real quick.
There's quite a bit of tubbiness and a low ring,
which I was not loving, so
carved a lot of that out with this graphic EQ. Added a gate to it.
It didn't need all of that hi-hat
in that mic
because it's already in all the other mics.
And boosted across the board, all the good stuff.
Bottom snare mic.
Here's what it's like without the EQ. Some very irritating frequency. Ducked that down and rolled off to about 108 hertz. Sounds a little better to me. Ran it through a little tape just to add a little saturation. Now here's the fun channel. This is the amp snare. Let's skip ahead towards the chorus here where there's crash and you can hear its cymbals ring out. Sounds crazy, but here's all those snares together. The tom, nothing too exciting. We just had one floor tom and I had a 421 on it.
Microphone.
Here's without the EQ. And here's with the EQ. And then hi-hat, I think the only thing I did to it was phase flippage because it was a little out of phase. A little EQ just to roll off a good amount to keep the rest of the drums out of it. And here's before rolling it off. Just hear more kick drum and everything. Now, quick side note about those hi-hats, those actually two crash cymbals stuck together. There you go. The overheads, fathead ribbon mics. I was on a big kick of using ribbon mics for overheads because they tend to
not have as good of a high frequency response as condenser mics and therefore prevent super harsh cymbals,
which can be irritating. So here's what they sound like. In the full mix, I wanted to add a little bit more top end. It's a little too soft. And then I ducked around 3K and 75, and then I rolled off a little bit. I added a little compression as well. So that's with that API Vision channel strip. And then I added a little de-esser as a sort of safety net to prevent hissy cymbals. These overheads are both running through the oxide tape plugin. Then for the room mic here, the U87. you could hear the tom ringing in it, so I found those frequencies and I ducked them. And then I added a lot of saturation here. I had initially done a demo with MIDI drums. I added a few plugins to it and pressed commit. I added the micro shift to kind of have it be ahead and behind the beat to give it this sloppy in a cool way sound.
I thought.
This is what it sounded like. So it's almost like a little slapback
Sort of situation.
Here's what it sounds like all together. And now, just for fun, I'll give you a little teaser of the track with everything in. 10-minute rain, 10-minute rain, and when it ends, we'll start it. There you go. It was a fun alternative way to track the drums instead of relying solely on MIDI or on plugins to get a crazy sound, throwing something crazy in the chain on the way in. The worst case scenario is you just turn that mic off and then you've got a clean drum sound.
That's totally sterile.
Donate if you feel generous and you're able to help victims of the fires in this area here. Like, comment, and subscribe as always here to me and my channel. Check me out on social medias, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, Amazon Music.
Wherever it is that you get your music fix.
You can find me there, and you can listen to all the music that I've got out currently, and you can be the first to know when new music arrives. I think that's all I got. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hang in there. I'm going to be trying to post these more regularly again. Hope you find some enjoyment in it, and you find some enjoyment in all of it, and have that enjoyment carry on through the rest of time.
As much as you can.
Whenever you can.
As best you can. And pass it on.
We'll see. We'll see what the hell happens next. Keep your fingers crossed.
Be ever vigilant.
But enjoy yourself at the same time. Be kind to one another. Love one another. Love thy neighbor.
Okay.
Bye-bye.